Hello again. In today's video of GIOIELLO projects, I'm going to show you how to stitch the bow part. And this version is the version with the lace back. So, the first thing we are going to do, you see this bow part. I did not finish this part, you see here, because I prefer to see row edges on knits, but you can with your overlocker finish the edge, this edge here. Okay, so we need to gather between the two notches that we have, and we need to gather it in a way that it fits between the two notches on the front part. Here we have one notch, and here the second, the first and the second. The third one is for another thing we're going to see later. So you see, I fitted this here, so you need to do the same. The next step is this bow loop I called, and now you put the long sides put together, right side touching inside, and you're going to stitch here on this long side, or with a straight stitch. You could keep it small, 2 or 2.5, so it doesn't break, and open the seams with your steam iron, which I'm going to do, or you can stitch with a straight stitch. I meant stretch stitch. Here it is. Now turn it on the right side and press it so the seam is on the half. See? The next step is to gather all this bow part with this loop. I recommend that you first place on the right side of the bow part the loop with the seam inside. See, this part. You baste it here. First step, you baste it here. Here it is, you see. I matched this seam, which is in the middle, with the notch, which is the middle of this piece. The center, not the middle. Okay, now you take this and you take all this material and you pass the loop on the other side. Sorry, I have only one hand available, so, and you see, finish here where you started with one side of the loop, and you baste again, but don't this part here, don't block it here, just leave it loose, leave it free. Okay, so like this, you pin here and you again baste, so this is nice and blocked. It's easier if it's pasted to work with it. So here is the previous basting, and here is a pin. It's a little bit tricky here, but you just baste again. But as I said, leave this part here loose. Don't block it on this part. Okay, here it is. We stitched our bow. Now we're going to add the lace part, the lace back part. Now what you're going to do is to baste this part on the lace. So we have right side of the lace looking at us, and we have wrong side of the bow touching the lace, and we have the right side of the bow looking at us. Okay, and now I just pinned this part, but you do it all around. We have this part of the lace, you see, this side, which is longer than this bow part, because normally lace is not stretched or sequenced in 4 directions. So I left this part longer, and for example, here I need all this fabric excess, because this one is very stretchy, and here in this direction it is not stretchy. So fit this. If you see it's too much, just cut away the excess. Here also, this being less stretchy than this fabric, it's a little bit bigger, so it's wider. So you should know that this is normal. So you should baste it all around. You match the notches here, also here, all around baste. You can baste with a long stitch near the edge with your sewing machine or at hand, how you prefer. Also here you fold. There is a notch here. You fold this, following the notch, and then you placed it here, okay? And this is going to behave as it was one single piece, okay? So you baste here, 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 and all around. One thing, this part is smaller than all the shoulder, so don't try to match this because it is smaller. It is made to be smaller. It's made to be this way. So just once folded on the notch, you just place it on the shoulder, laced shoulder, and just baste it. Okay. Also here on the armhole, the elasticity is different, so maybe you will have to stretch a little bit this knit part to accommodate the lace part, but it's normal. You just know that this is normal. And here we are, you see, basted all around, armholes, everything, because this, as I said, is going to behave as it was one single piece. Okay, now we're going to add the other back part here. This is the other back piece. We are going to match the right sides, the bow, and this other back side here, matching the notches in the center and also these two notches. Here I pinned. I wanted to show you which two parts I pinned together. Okay, so now you see I pinned all around. My advice is to keep this part with the lace so you can see it. And first, again, baste, because this part is very tricky because it has a lot of fabric. So baste and then check on the right side, and then stitch or with your overlocker or straight stitch. Here it is. I first basted and then when checked on the right side and then stitched with my overlocker. Okay, you see this is a t-shirt version. You will either have here cut and add the peplum or the half circle skirt, or you would have long fitted dress. So in either case, this is the proceeding for all the versions. Now we are going to add the front side, the front piece. As I said, these two are going to behave as one. So, and it's not going to be very pretty here, unfortunately. There is no other way with this lace detail. Now, here I pinned the front and the back piece. You see, here you need to be try to be as precise and detailed as you can, because here it's going to be raw. We will have to baste first here, so it stays nice and blocked, and then we need to find a way to finish this part. So baste first the shoulder. Here also you have the notches. You have first notch on the front, you need to put the start of the gathering. Second notch, you have the finish of the gathering, and the third notch you have this seam, that is the seam between the two back parts. You see, here is the finish of the gathering, and here we have this seam, and here we match this last notch on the front part. Then you have this the notches of the waistline, and if you have the fitted dress, you also have the notches on the hip line. So here we are on the shoulders. I would start from the arm part and finish on the neckline because of the bulk. So just, I said first, I did not, but my advice is to baste and then slowly finish here. Here it is finished, see, here, and on the shoulders. Now, since this is not, as I said, very pretty finished, you should try to pull this inside the seam. I usually do it with this needle, which is for knitting, I understand, or if not, you can cut and make a knot, but my advice is to pull it inside. And here it is how it looks on the right side. You see the gathering, this is the bow, and here we have that tricky part. Not so beautiful, but I really don't know for this option how to do it otherwise. Okay, this is it. Now we are going to, in the next video, we are going to set in the sleeves. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.